worry about them turning up or hanging up my phone. How's everybody doing? I still didn't call everybody. We had a gender reveal for my niece, so we were celebrating that. It was so cool because we had people from like all over. Like, did Mamas get on? I wonder. Anyways, from my son, us, Texas, all of us were getting on through for a gender reveal for my niece who's in Texas. So, anyways, I hope everybody's doing good. I don't know what's going on with this. Anybody? Anybody? Not sure. It just looks like it's got its own little mind here. Okay. So, anyways, you guys, we are doing day six of our starter, and I have a really good friend. Her name is Quirky, and she messaged me on Discord, and she's like, "Hey, man." She's having a boy, Bernadette. So my grandson will have like a cousin, because my son and her are cousins. So then there'll be second cousins that are boys, but we're really close. So even if they're like second cousins, we do like right now. It's like a gender reveal, but like six of us are on the phone at the same time because we're not there in Austin with everybody. So in order for us to all be a part of it, we're doing like on what's it called, on Apple, you can have a bunch of people doing FaceTiming, and they're like, "Hello, my Liz. I need you to start my starter with me." Yes, Mama. Yes. Do you know that Quirky sent me a picture, and she started her starter today? Yay, Quirky. Okay. This is day 6. Look at. It was really puffy this morning, you guys. I wanted to do something with it with you guys. Like, I did it with you guys at 8 o'clock. Look at the bubbles. At 8 o'clock in the morning. And then around about 4, it was bubbly. So, I need you to see what it looks like to test it. You get water. This is mine. It smells like, if anybody knows, it smells yeasty. So, it kind of smells like beer, I guess. But I like deep crust. Oh, look at that. Oh. Okay, come on, you guys. I'm gonna test this just to see what it does. I'd like it to float to show you. If it doesn't float, that means it's not ready. But if it does float, but when it was like poofy. Ooh, it looks runny. No, it might not. Okay, let's just do it. Let's try it. Okay. Remember, guys, it's gotta be. My little Quirky even told me that she went and got her unbleached flour. She ordered her little jar from my jar that broke. Yeah, you remember that one, guys? She ordered one just like mine. I'm sad because I don't have my jar anymore. Over a spider. But you guys, I'm telling you, the spider was this big around. And it came crawling down on the side of my cabinet. And it got here. And right when it came to my eye, I thought he was going to lunge out at me. So I didn't mind, like, it's up there. And then all of a sudden I saw it, like, coming down the wall. It was like Spider-Man, like this. And then it got right to my eye level. And I was like, holy crap, Joe. And y'all heard it. And then he was, like, trying to kill it. And then I moved this out of the way. And that was I wanted to keep my jar forever. Like it was my starter jar. If anybody has never done starter, it's a feeling of accomplishment. You know what I mean? Like I mean, I'll take it or leave it. I know Joe lets it, but I really wanted to do it to show myself I can do it. Like my first ones were this flat. Damn, Bernadette, that's what I said. I said that to Joe. I was like, that damn spider. Bitch, you're funny. That's what I told Joe. Okay, I've got to get room temperature water because I'm going to show you how to test it. Ideally, you'd like to have a thermostat on the side of it. After tomorrow, I set you guys out free. And you guys start looking up starter recipes. And active starter is when you fed it and it grew and it went all the way up here. And it'll be a certain temperature. That's why it's a good idea to have a thermometer. And if you don't have a thermometer, you can test it by putting it in some water and it will float. Okay? Things that you can make with all the discard I poured out. You can put, I made some crackers. I melt 2 tablespoons of butter. I had, trust me, I don't like measuring stuff. I had to get a digital scale. I hate doing that. I don't personally like it, but it's like, I think for 100 grams of discard, I use 1 tablespoon of butter. So 2 tablespoons is for 200 grams of starter. I mean, discard, not the starter. Starter is for the bread, bagels, all the things that are amazing. It's basically your rise. The discard is when I don't feed it and it's just like deflated. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like dead. You know what I mean? You get your discard, you put it in a bowl, and you put just butter and let's just say 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Bro, they taste exactly like cheese nips. Exactly. And I'm not a big cheese nip fan, but they were hot and warm out of the oven. Okay, Joe's trying to make us dinner, so I am going to make this quick. I'm going to get this. I'm going to aim you guys down. So I think Bernadette said something really quick. I was crying for you. Oh, you're the sweet. You know what? I told Joe, I love that. You're the sweetest, Bernadette. I told Joe, I said, did you see what Bernadette? I think it was you or Betty Damn Boop. I said, one of you guys were like, Mitten, do you have shoes on? And I was like, oh, my people are so good to me. And Joe's like, yeah, they are. It just made me feel nice. You know what I mean? Like, Joe's always looking out for me. But like Joe looks out for me. It feels almost like a dad, the way Joe does it. Like, careful, careful, careful. Don't cut yourself. Careful. Always telling me careful. It feels like, dude, I'm a grown woman. I know. I get it. He's very protective and he doesn't want nothing to happen to me. But when my friends say it online, then it's like, oh, thank you. I will be careful. It's a difference. Joe says I have it out for him. He's so extra. Okay, hold on, you guys.
No.
You what? You heard?
You just won't listen to me, that's all.
Ooh, that feels so good.
Yeah.
Let me get a glass. Watch your face. Okay. So I use a clear glass so I can see what I'm doing. Room temperature. My water's in the fridge. That's the only reason I warm it up. But I'm going to put this in here just so I can see it. See the water? I'm going to test it before I feed it just so I can show you. So I'm going to grab this. And when it's ready, which means it's ready to start being cooked with. Hold on, y'all. That means it's like airy and everything it needs to be. Can you see it? Let me hold you all the way up. Well, let me just say this. Do you see it on the bottom? Do you see it on the bottom or is it floating? See where it's up in the top, but it's dissolving? That's why it's going to the bottom. But can you see it? I want you to see. See where it's floating? Obviously, after it gets into the water, then it does dissolve. But so I'm gonna feed it one more time today. And I'm gonna go one more day just to be sure. The girl who did it did 7 days. My original starter, this one, is 4 months old or 5 months old. This one has gone, I did 7 days. So I'm gonna do 7 days with this one also, which means I have to feed her right now. Anybody knows I call my original bubbles because you look for bubbles in it, like on the side. Like you can see like little, on the side you can see little dots. But when it's ready to be used, the circles are big. And the bottom, it's like all airy and everything. Okay, so let me see. Bagels are the easiest. Bagel Bagels are the easiest because all you do is get starter that's active, which means it's floating. And this is the way I do it. I put water in a bowl. I'm gonna do it with you guys. I'll do it with you guys for. When should I do it, you guys? Oh, my finger hurts. Oh, sometimes I don't even use a recipe. I just know it has to be a drier consistency. It's not a wet, shaggy, like the sourdough bread is shaggy, which means it's kind of all stuck together like this. When I make the bagels, it is a dry, compressed batter or whatever, and I let it sit and I put the a top on it, and in 30 minutes the glutens and everything break down on it, and then I come in and knead it, and then I'll knead it for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I let it sit for the next 5 or 6 hours. Easiest things to make ever. After 5 or 6 hours of letting it sit, you'll see that it double in size. Then I come in and I make them into circles. I punch a hole through it. There's a couple different ways to do it. Again, there's a lot of things I researched that I found out how to do things because no one showed me. I had to just research them.
You know where the garlic is that you have?
The fresh one, yeah, right here, Daddy. Goes in the fridge, but then I couldn't find a place for it. So once you put your finger in it, you let it sit for about 2 hours, just in the shape that your bagel is. Then you just let it hang out. Get some water. The way Joe and I do it, I put baking soda in the oven, kind of cook it for about an hour or two. Then I put the baking soda, about a tablespoon. Then I put it in boiling water. Then I get my bagels that I had let sit out for about 2 hours after I made the hole in it. Okay? All that is the very beginning. It sits and rises and does all that. Then once it's rose, that's when I put the hole in it and I make it a bagel. It looks like a donut, but it's a bagel. And then I throw it in my water, put it on parchment paper, 2 or 3 of them or whatever it is. And then I bake them like at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes. And I love bagels. I'm from the Midwest, guys, and I don't know why we love our bagels. We love our bagels. Yeah. You want to grab the flour for me when you get a chance, babe?
Sure.
Thank you. So you're just all excited about making dinner for us. He's making us stir fry. We had some chicken here, and Joe's making like a fried rice, I guess. Yeah, I said the wrong thing. Okay, come on, y'all. I am going to take a little out. Again, I'm discarding it only to make room for it. Because I think I didn't do it yesterday because it came all the way to the top. And I was like, holy crap, that thing's going to bubble over. All right, where's my baggie? It's funny because I was at the store. This is my discard. Tomorrow I will dump this. And then you can keep your discard in a jar and use it from there. I personally dump this. It's kind of like a good luck charm. I throw it and I start fresh with with this. Like say, I don't even know how. I'm going to confuse you guys if I say too much. That sounds stupid, huh? If I say too much.
Don't tell too much.
What?
Don't say too much.
I know, because I'm like, if I say too much, like it's something. Hi, William, Brooklyn. Aw, that's the sweetest. I love that. He is. Joe loves taking care of me, and I'm blessed that I have somebody who does. I mean, you know what? That's what I was saying last time, is that I had to go through what I went through. Quirky! I saw your picture. Look at this. Is the one that we're getting ready to do. This is my old one. This is my 5-month-old discard. I mean, my 5-month-old baby. It's almost, honestly, that's why they tell you to name it, because you literally birth a living thing. It's alive. That's why it bubbles. it's a living being, and you birthed it. So there's a lot of people that joke around, they name it and stuff like that. I named mine Bubbles. Some other people name others. I don't know. I don't even think Hazel. I think I saw one girl who had names hers Hazel. I named mine Bubbles. You can even put in the Google search something like names for my starter, and it has like Bubbles, Sparky. There's a bunch of different ones. Like if you decide to do it and you can't think of a name, I said Bubbles just because when I was in high school, one of my teachers,
You ever blow bubbles?
huh?
You ever blow bubbles?
Yeah.
Really?
We have a Minster Day.
I know. I'm
Like
just gonna
this.
chop them up. Just gonna chop them up.
We had in our class, in our senior class, I've got a jar just like that. I know. I was, you know why I'm so excited? Because, like, well, two things. I was excited to move to a bigger jar than my single jar, but I wanted to keep my single jar. But number two is I was in a chat and I said something about I just made a loaf of sourdough or something. Definitely can see how much you're loved doing your subject. I do. I feel. Keep in mind, you guys, I'm also an empty nester. So if I had kids and stuff, would I have time to do it all? I'm sure I've seen moms that do it with babies on their hips, and they do it all. Hey, Pookie. I loved. We had practices. Our son and our daughter. Our son was a 3 or 4. He did wrestling, track, and football. So we were always at competitions and meets and everything. I personally would never have been like, oh, I got to get home. I'm in bulk fermentation, or oh, I got to hurry. I got to do it. The rise. Like I would not have had time to do it if I had my kids. Why? Because my kids were home, my daughter was in softball and my son went to wrestling, and it was just too much. I had to focus on, hey, did you get your homework done? And what do you got going on? And hey, I don't want to see, if I see your grades again, they better be up. You know what I mean? Like, aw, you're not feeling good? Oh, you're getting busy at the hotel. You do not, Pookie, do not apologize. When you are working, when you are going somewhere with life, take care of your home. Mama, don't ever worry. Um, so I'm saying that I'm grateful now that I have the time to do this, because it is not that it's boring. I mean, me and Joe are like happy and we enjoy doing our retired life, but I don't know if I would have the mentality to be like, oh, I gotta feed my starter. The last thing on my mind would be my starter. I'd be like, what do you kids want to eat? Like, what are we doing? I mean, we did, like I said, church was Sundays and Wednesdays, and kids practices were about 5 days a week. So there was little time to think about what does Mitten want to do. It was usually like, what do we got going on? All right, let's go. I'm gonna feed this so you guys get out of here on your Sunday. I'm gonna aim you down. So this is my starter discard. Again, if you read the comments, you do not have to dump your discard once you started. I do it to make room in my jar. That's it. I need, but I stick this in the fridge every day, so I probably could still use it. I just look at how much I could be using. Okay? And then I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna scrape it down. You guys tell me, we have a screen on the front door. And me and Joe were in the kitchen this morning, and I look over there and I go, oh my God, the dogs, they were on the other side of the screen door on the front porch. And I was like, Joe, tell me why our dogs are over on the other side. And then I called him. I go, you guys get in here now. And they looked at me like, how do you want me to get in there? I can't open the door. I'm like, bro, you guys got out there. Okay, remember how thick it was earlier? I gotta get it that thick again. So first I'll mix that flour in to see where we're at. See how thick it is? We need it thinner than that. So just remember, and this is just, you can do a little bit drier if you, so I hear when you do a dry like this, it does rise, and activate it or whatever, it does go faster. I've never tried. Look at how thick it is. See? So I'm going to grab a little bit of water, push it in, and I'm just going to blend it. I want to make sure it's all blend with what I had in there. And I've heard two things. I've heard you got to keep your starter fed a couple times a week, even if you're not using it. Feed your starter to keep him alive, keep him happy. So I've been doing a lot. I think this week I made about 3 or 4 loaves of sourdough bread. You guys, every morning I woke up, I just kind of was like, oh my God, my starter's really active. And I threw some in a bowl and I started making it. Do I have a recipe? I follow one, but no, the last 3 or 4 times I just dissolved it and called it ready. Just like, of course, you're not going to use a recipe. Okay, watch the thick, see what the consistency is? That's compared to when I put the flour. At the very beginning, it was runny. You guys saw me pouring it out. It just poured right out. Now, this is runnier. This is fed. This is a fed starter now. So now it's ready to grow. Okay, I'm going to take all the sides down for just to keep track of where the line is. I'm so proud of you, Quirky. I absolutely love that you got your little jar going. And Liz, girl, you know I am a phone call away. See where it is right there? All right. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to feed it one last time. But you know what I'm going to do? In the morning, if it's grown, before I go live, if I notice that it's grown a lot, then I'll do the water test again. And it just lets you know your starter is ready. Your starter is almost done. I'm like ready to start using it and stuff. But I found a lot of my beginning recipes didn't work. And the only thing is, I don't know if it was because my starter was still new. Oh, I'm sorry. Or was it because I didn't know I wasn't supposed to I didn't know if I wasn't supposed to use. Aw, you're so sweet. Thank you. I didn't know if I wasn't supposed to use, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to use this iodine, like salt. I thought you could use any salt. I didn't even know you had to use that water. Like you had to use this water. I thought you could use sink water. So there's things that my bread didn't work. And I'm like, was it my starter? And I'm like, well, maybe it wasn't that. It has to be a certain temperature when you're going to make a loaf. I didn't know that. There's so many things that I didn't know. Like once you feed it and it goes like this and then it'll go up. That's the best time to use it. When your starter is at a peak. Then it starts dropping and you can still use it when it's right here. But once it drops, you got to stop. It's not going to rise anymore. Does that make sense? So there is a window that your starter is active. That's why the recipe, if you look up starter or sourdough bread or sourdough, whatever, bagels or whatever, an active starter usually tells you to feed it, wait about 4 hours, and then it'll be active and ready to start adding into your recipe. That makes sense? Because right now, it's just basically just unfed starter. It just is not even, it doesn't have nothing in it to help your bread rise. Does that make sense? Okay, we're gonna leave this now. I'll put her bonnet back on there. These are, I bought 100 of them on Amazon, Quirky, in case you're wondering. 100 of these for $6 or maybe $8. But I mean, they work. You put them around a bowl. Oh, another thing. It's best to use a plastic bowl. Things like that, I didn't know. I have a whole metal bowl set that I usually make my stuff, especially my bread bowl. I use my yeast with my bread bowl, but you shouldn't use metal in your bread, in your starter. Apparently the metal doesn't let it, you should add your salt later in your recipe, not at the very beginning when you're adding your flour. Things like that, I would look up people's and different hacks and tricks and people talking and reading stuff. This is like an Amish whisk, I think. Supposedly, it breaks it up like your starter with your water versus using whatever. So, and this is called a Bannatyne basket. Somehow it gives the right airflow underneath it, and you got to wrap it. Honestly, these are little things that do make a difference. Why? Trust me, I was the girl that said, doesn't really make a difference. Please, how much difference can it make? I found out it makes a difference. So, unbleached flour. I know, I saw yours. I love it. I need one of the loaf ones because I don't have a loaf one. But I was so blessed that my friend said, "Hey, I don't do." Mona Lisa said, "I don't do any more sourdough baking. I would love to send it to you," and I was ecstatic. So, I feel blessed. I'm gonna get me. Another thing I don't have is a cast iron or what pressure cooker. I don't have a pressure cooker, so I actually just use my spaghetti pan. I mean, they're like $60 for a pressure cooker pan. No, it's not a pressure cooker. What kind of pan does it take? Dutch oven. A Dutch oven. It's supposed to take a Dutch oven. And I just was like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I don't have a Dutch oven. So I just got my spaghetti, or I got my regular pan that I boil spaghetti in, and I looked up the maker. Like, this is how determined I was. I looked up the maker to see if it could be at a high rate of 400 degrees. Then I got, because the lid is glass, and I looked it up. The Amish whisk is a game changer. Yes, it is. It is. I love it too. It is a game changer. But I was like, oh my gosh, I looked up the glass on my pan to make sure that the pan is glass. Could it take 400 degrees? So, I mean, that's my own choice. I didn't have my starter jar, so I used my mason jars. And then after like day 7 or day 6, we could afford the jar. So we did it, but for me, it's just like and that's why I always tell you. I know, girl, I don't either. I used a pizza pan and it works just fine. You guys, I've showed you guys. Babe, do you have your picture, your phone? I'm sorry, baby. I love you so much. This was, look at you guys. Can you guys see it? Oops, hold on. Look at how big it was. I was so excited. You guys, it was so big. It was arisen, and it took up my whole thing on my, I can't even tell you how excited this one made me. See, I scored it, and it was going in the oven. I was so proud of this one. This was probably my most proudest, honestly. I was like, I know, I was so excited for this loaf. Let's see. I mean, this was another one. This is it in there. This is the pan that I use. See it? It kind of touches on the sides. This is a different one I did. But this is all from Starter. It just, and I cut it. I was so proud when I cut it. I was like, there's holes. I took a picture with my starter behind it. See, this is our starter that we do with you guys. And these are my babies. My baby starters are in the background. See those back? Oh, shoot. Those are ones from I've had since February. This is the one we started with you guys. And I put my baby in front of it to take a picture. I was so excited, and the dogs were just staring at me in the living room. They were so funny. Joe said I was crazy. See my dogs? They're looking at me like I'm crazy. I was running back and forth because I was like right here, and I was like, woo! I go, my sourdough looks so pretty, and I was so excited. And I was running back and forth. The dogs got out of the kitchen. I know. You know what? just don't stop trying. Don't stop trying, because you get kind of discouraged, because like I showed you guys on the live yesterday. My first one was like this high, and I was like, what did I do? But it's the stuff like the water, the salt, the things I didn't know. And that's why I said, you know what? I don't want you guys to feel that discouraged, because the only reason I went back in again was because I was terca. And I said, no, I'm sorry. If I raise kids and they turn out decent, my daughter's got her master's degree, my son's an amazing, amazing man, I can do sourdough. I mean, how hard can it be? So anyways, I love you guys. Get out of here. I'm going to let my husband take over the kitchen again. But I love you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's day 7 and we are done. So start looking up your recipes, because it's going down. Bye, guys.